The story of P Thrizzle is a one-of-a-kind story. Being the first Filipino from a blood set in Inglewood, our man's P Thrizzle definitely did not have it easy growing up in these streets. But before he would adopt the name P Thrizzle and pursue music seriously, he's been in some crazy situations. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking it all the way back to his days in the streets as Baby HALFPINT. If there's another artist you want me to cover, make sure you leave something in the comment sections. Or better yet, just send me a DM on IG because I'm way more likely to see those anyway. And like always, subscribe to the channel if you guys are a fan of the series because I'm dropping videos every single week. And don't forget to check out P Thrizzle's YouTube channel as well as Northside Navy's YouTube channel. I'm gonna have them both linked in the description. But without further ado, let's get into it.
At the scene of a deadly shooting that happened in Inglewood.
Breaking news at this hour, this time in Inglewood, where police are investigating a double shooting.
When they arrived, they heard gunshots and screaming coming from a home there. The suspects are known to law enforcement, and they are gang members.
Man is dead. 2 women are injured after a deadly home invasion. It happened around 12:30 this morning.
Inglewood, California is a city located southwest of downtown Los Angeles. Predominantly run by Bloods, Inglewood has a long history of gang violence that dates back all the way to the 70s. By the age of 12, P Thrizzle would join the Neighborhood Pirus, also known as NHP, and would be named Baby HALFPINT. He got put on back in 1994, which is crazy to me because I was just being born by the time this man was 2 years into his gangbanging career. The Neighborhood Pirus occupy a large area on the west side of Inglewood. The current blocks they control are the 500 block, which is located off Hyde Park Boulevard, the 700 block, which is located off Inglewood Avenue, the 800 block, which is located off Glenway Drive, and the most newly founded Bix Faux Street, which is on 64th Street. Some of the big names are Big Taco, who is also the father of hip-hop rapper Rucci, and other reputable names are the Wax, the Slims, the Pint Gang, and the Scraps. They are currently cool with the few other Bloods around them, such as the Inglewood families and the Queen Street Bloods. Some of the OGs from NHP still claim West Side, but the younger ones started saying Northside because they are located on the north side of Inglewood. Another notable rapper who was also pushing the Northside movement was Sean Mack, also known as Infant HALFPINT, but sadly he is no longer with us. P Thrizzle got the name Baby HALFPINT because he was small but ready to rock whenever. He's named after Big HALFPINT, who is a legend in Inglewood. P Thrizzle would also be extremely close to Little HALFPINT, who according to Drizzle was the person who put him on and got into all the bullshit together. But sadly, Little HALFPINT is no longer with us as well. People who knew P Thrizzle on the street would call him P3, and he would later start going by P Thrizzle, which is a play off his name P3. I mentioned this earlier, but he got put on by the age of 12, so he was exposed to the gang life quite early. By the age of 13, he would be taken from his mom's house due to the fact that his mother was working too much, and at the time, P Thrizzle was getting into all kinds of trouble and getting locked up, catching charges, so CPS felt like they needed to step in. CPS placed him in placement, and for anybody that doesn't know what placement is, it's basically foster care filled with young gang members, usually coming straight from the juvenile halls. P3 would be in and out of the system damn near his whole adolescent life, and in the span of just 5 years, he had been to 15 different placements. P Thrizzle's stays in these facilities was nothing nice because if you aren't familiar with placement, it's basically supposed to rehabilitate juvenile offenders. If anything, they make these kids way worse because you're thrown into an environment filled with other gang members. The staff that runs these places generally don't give a fuck about the kids anyway, so really you just have a recipe for disaster. But that's not to say good placements don't exist, they're just rare. Our man P Thrizzle is no stranger to the juvenile detention system. Having spent time in all 3 juvenile halls located in Los Angeles County, he was no stranger to the lifestyle, and by the age of 17, he caught a charge where he would be tried as an adult, which got him sent to prison. P Thrizzle would end up in prison a total of 5 times, but during his time on the streets in between prison stays was no walk in the park. You already know what comes with that type of lifestyle, and our man P Thrizzle has some real war stories for sure. By the time he was in his 20s, he had already been shot, and during his time on the streets, our man P Thrizzle Thrizzle has been shot a total of 12 times. One of those bullets still being lodged between his chest and heart. On top of all that, he's missing some fingers because they got shot off trying to block some bullets. He's been in a coma twice and also almost lost his ability to walk due to a bullet being lodged in his spine. The bullet had a 50% chance of taking P Thrizzle's ability to walk upon removal, but he took that chance anyway and is walking to this very day. Despite all of these hardships, P Thrizzle continues to hold his head high and shares his experiences through his music. He's been serious with his craft for the last 2 years, and during that time, he and his homies have been pushing the Northside Navy movement. They got the name Northside Navy because for one, they are located on the north side of Inglewood, and they use the Navy because they move militant, and the Navy is considered to be the strongest branch in the military. P Thrizzle is honestly a walking miracle. God clearly has plans for him because there have been many attempts on his life, but he's still here with us, and I'm excited to see where his music career takes him. And to be quite honest, when I see the vlogs, the interviews, P Thrizzle just gives off a genuine vibe, and his story is a story that needs to be heard, and it's definitely one for the books. He's a father of 6 at this point, and for anybody like P Thrizzle that has gone through the things that he's gone through, sat in those cells for years at a time, lost loved ones along the way, got shot multiple times, I'm just glad that he's able to enjoy his freedom and let alone his life. The juvenile detention system, when it comes to juvenile hall, placement, camp, whatever the case is, these places condition the kid to reoffend, and they get them used to not being home, essentially training them for prison. And at the end of the day, it's a huge business because the more heads inside the prison, the more money they make. A lot of the people that I was locked up in juvenile hall with, I see a lot of them going to prison, in and out, in and out. Some have caught crazy long bids, some are just repeat offenders, and it's a real vicious cycle. And it's good to see somebody like P Thrizzle break out of that cycle and to come out on the other side with a good head on his shoulders and a life to live, because let's be honest, that's rare in this music industry. Be sure to check out all of P Thrizzle's work that he has available on this platform, and like I said it before, go check out the Northside Navy Movement YouTube channel. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave it a thumbs up, and like always, subscribe because I'm dropping videos every single week. It was an honor to get to tell P Thrizzle's story, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But until next time, I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace.
Damn, dog, go ahead and pass me the guap. Your man's a yee, he ain't no papa. Take his chains, he ain't no shotter. Fuck bling blow, how I step up in this motherfucker. Baby hair straight out the neighbors, not your average blooder. Fuck Roof Chris, might slide to Taco Bell. Got a lot of taco shells for any nigga giving hell. Don't speak up on my name, nigga, may you rest in piss. That 40 with that triple beam and knock you off your shit.